One of the goals when traveling with our grandsons was to create life experiences that might help them make big decisions in the future. After all, they are the decision makers of the future. Well, it's Monday, July 24, and this is the day that the boys get to go for a short flight on a float plane, Cessna 182, taking off from the Yukon River, which will be a neat experience. Creating a small float plane experience may seem extravagant, but there are many people across Canada who live in remote communities where airplane transportation is the only way to get around. So we arranged a short float plane flight with Peel Wilderness Adventures to get a feel for the flight itself and to look down on some of the placer mining operations in the Dawson City area. Now, you might think it's also a simple matter to ferry an aircraft up to a dock along the edge of the Yukon River, but the river flows at 8 to 12 kilometers per hour, so the pilot has a lot to assess when ferrying up to the dock, especially on a windy day. And that is how you land a Cessna on a river dock. Join us in this Rambles with Robin and Ruby video, Season 2023, Episode 22, as we enjoy a short float plane flight over the Dawson City area. Note that the land we flew over is in the homeland of the Klondike River First Nation peoples. Enjoy! Safety is always first, so just before the flight, the three of us received a thorough safety briefing from Pilot Derek. Based on the luck of the draw, Adrien won the right to sit in the co-pilot seat. Brayden and I sat in the back seat. There's Adrien in the front, being a little bit shy and not turning around, and I can't see Brayden. There's Brayden. There's Adrien. We then taxied across the Yukon River in preparation for takeoff. The plane took off downriver. That is, the plane took off in the direction of the river flow. We flew past the ferry landing for those headed along the top of the World Highway. Then we passed by the old steamwheeler graveyard, where three old steamwheeler paddle boats rest and pass the rest of their days on the edge of the Yukon River. Once off the water, we flew along the side of Dawson City. The downtown location of the Gold Rush campground where we stayed is one of the reasons it is such a popular destination for many travelers. You park your RV and then you walk everywhere in Dawson City. It was also interesting to see the clear water of the Klondike River flow into the silty, opaque water of the Yukon River. These two bodies of water stayed separated for some distance before mixing. Note, there were many forest fires burning across southern Yukon and Alaska during the summer of 2023, and it was the forest fire smoke that made the sky very hazy. We then turned easterly and flew over the Klondike River Valley, where several placer gold mining operations are active. Later in the history of the Klondike Gold Rush, large dredges were used to remove gold from the Klondike River gravels. This is dredge number 4, which mined placer gold from 1913 to 1959. It now rests in the dredge number 4 National Historic Site of Canada. After the placer gold pieces have been separated from the river gravel, the leftover gravel was dumped out the back of the barge. This process produced snake-like piles of gravel that now occur in the old river channel. We also flew over some of the active placer gold mining operations. These are best described as massive earth-moving operations. The large-scale operations are required to process huge volumes of ancient river channel deposits to extract much finer grains of gold. On our return, we flew north across the Yukon River, where we could see the Dawson City Golf Course, a must for your bucket list if you are an avid golfer. Our landing on the Yukon River was as smooth as a baby's bottom, as they say. I'm not sure who they are, but they are credited with many wise expressions. After landing, we ferried up to the dock on the Yukon River. Once we exited the plane, there was the mandatory photo of our grandsons with pilot Derek. And then, Adrien and Brayden with me. It was an excellent flight. So, there's Derek, the pilot. We just finished the flight in the Hani Air. And a few bumps, but it was really nice to get a view of the Dawson and the number of the placer gold mining operations, as well as the landscape. Good experience by all. So thanks to Derek for safely flying us. I offer a brief digression about gold that occurs in the Dawson City area. As we flew over the Dawson City area, we saw several active placer gold mines. European placer gold mining began in this area in 1896 with the onset of the Klondike Gold Rush. That gold rush brought so many people to Yukon in search of placer gold. Placer gold occurs as distinct grains buried in river gravels, as seen in this gold pan. Placer gold is very different from gold contained in quartz veins, which is often called hardrock gold, as seen in this sample where the gold occurs in a quartz vein. In Dawson City, you can buy locally mined placer gold as jewelry or as nuggets on sale in the local stores. If nothing else, it's fun to look at this naturally occurring precious metal that changed the history of this area of Yukon. So that's a wrap for this video. Again, our goal was to create some life experiences for our two grandsons, Brayden and Adrien. I leave you now with some photos that highlight the plane ride and Dawson City sights, as well as a deserved swim at the Dawson City Municipal Swimming Pool at the end of a very hot Dawson City day. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.